Coming up on WTOL 11, big changes for Toledo football. The Rockets' winningest coach in program history is on the move. We'll tell you where in just a few minutes. And new developments in Toledo Public Schools' budget crisis, including possible layoffs and big structural shifts. Coming up, the proposals stirring concern. Plus, new scrutiny on a September U.S. strike at sea and why lawmakers say it may have crossed a line. The questions now, diving an investigation into the attack. Well, welcome into WTOL 11 News here on Plus. I'm Michael Sandlin. Thank you so much for joining us on your Saturday evening. Now we'll get to all those top stories and more in just a moment, but first, let's bring in meteorologist John Birchfield. John, I understand the WTOL 11 weather team has been talking about more snowfall ahead. What's the timing on that? Yeah, there is going to be snow moving in by daybreak tomorrow, and you may need that snow shovel with amounts generally between about 1 to 2 inches. So not a ton of snowfall, but it could cause a few slippery spots on roadways. So use caution as you're out and about on Sunday. That low pressure system that is going to bring us snow is currently situated over southern Iowa, and it is already prompting some winter weather alerts. Winter weather advisory shown in purple extending back into the Chicago metro, and even some winter storm warnings across northern Iowa. No active winter weather alerts here at home, although there could be some travel impacts, especially during the morning. Snow showers are already going to be moving into the Toledo metro by about 6 a.m. and by mid to late morning, snowfall is going to ramp up. Could be coming down steadily between 9 to 10 a.m., but it is going to be very short-lived. By 12 noon, still some light snow showers, but then into the early to mid-afternoon, snow is going to be wrapping up, and by the evening, you may even see a little bit of sunshine. I'm going to preview those snowfall amounts in your snow map, and also a look ahead to some cold December days. That's coming up in just a bit. All right, John, we'll see you in just a bit. Well, we're kicking things off with some sports breaking news. Toledo head football coach Jason Candle is leaving his job with the Rockets and headed to UConn. Both UT and UConn officially announced the news Saturday morning. The Blade is reporting that Candle held a meeting with players at 10 o'clock this morning where he told them that he would be leaving. UT Athletics Director Brian Blair put out a statement at about the same time saying they will name an interim head coach shortly. Defensive coordinator Vince Kearis had left as well to take the same job at Syracuse. He helped the Rockets rank top 5 nationally in defense. Candle leaves Toledo as the winningest coach in program history. New developments in an ongoing story related to Toledo Public Schools. TPS is exploring major changes as it works to close a large deficit. Those changes include the possibility of laying off more than 100 teachers. A packet shared with union leaders outlined several proposals, including moving to a 4-day school week. It also includes turning Bowsher into a 7 through 12 arts academy, expanding K through 6 buildings to K through 8, and consolidating sports down to 4 high schools from 6. TPS tells WTOL 11 the proposals are only hypothetical and will go through community discussions before anything is finalized. Superintendent Romulus Durant is expected to discuss this further on Monday. Well, in case you missed it, a serious crash occurred early this morning in East Toledo. Alcohol is believed to be a factor in this early morning crash over on the east side. Toledo police say around 3:30 this morning, a driver speeding on Console near Burger Street hit a parked car, then a utility pole. The driver and his passenger are in the hospital with non-life-threatening but serious injuries. Now, if you're heading out to pick up a Christmas tree this year, you might notice something interesting at the checkout. While artificial trees are seeing a slight price increase, the cost of real Christmas trees are holding steady. Dominique O'Neill joins us in studio now. So, Dominique, why is this the case?
Well, Michael, this is because local growers say that the tariffs driving up costs across the country aren't hitting them here at home. In White House, families were out today walking the fields and cutting down their trees. Growers tell us their prices haven't changed much because everything is grown right here. Artificial trees, on the other hand, are mostly imported, and new tariffs are pushing up shipping and manufacturing costs. Real trees rely more on weather and time, taking nearly a decade to grow before they ever make it to your living room.
I would say Mother Nature's keeping prices steady. It depends if you're just going to a lot where they're not providing any extra services. The prices may be less than ours, but we're not in any hurry to raise prices. We're happy with where we're at, and the customers return, and we'll keep it going.
Coming up at 11, we'll hear from a family about why they prefer one over the other. Reporting in the studio, Dominique O'Neill, WTOL 11 on Plus.
Well, Santa made a special delivery to the National Museum of the Great Lakes this afternoon. The annual Christmas tree ship event brings fun for the whole family, including free museum admission all day, glass blowing demonstrations, and of course, a visit from Santa. Around 50 trees were delivered on a tugboat down the Maumee right outside the museum. Families were able to purchase their own tree or donate a tree to someone in need.
The cultural anchor institution here on the east side of the river, and we want everyone on the east side, but also in all of Toledo and the area to know that they are welcome here, and just being able to have this day where we can offer free admission just means so much to us.
Visitors were also able to see the museum's newest exhibit, Frozen in Time, a wooden antique boat show. Powerlifters came out to Main Street Barbell in Toledo today to hit a new personal record and support a good cause. For about 8 years, the annual Lifts for Gifts event puts powerlifters against each other in last man standing deadlifts and bench presses. Whoever can lift the most wins. Lifters and supporters also donated toys for the Lucas County Children's Services Toy Drive, and one powerlifter brought 100 toys himself.
It was so much fun. Just all the stuff you wanted to buy when you were a kid, being able to just walk through and just pull things off the shelves. And like I said before, I feel very blessed around Christmas. And I've got a really great family that went all out for Christmas. And the fact that some kids don't have that in Toledo, it hurts. And so to be able to do this is really cool. It's really special.
Hundreds of toys were brought to the gym today, which will all go to kids in foster care this Christmas. Well, for the 18th year in a row, Mosaic Ministries in South Toledo made sure children have presents to open on Christmas morning. Their annual Christmas store, where parents and guardians can come in and pick out gifts for their kids, was open today. Gift wrapping is also offered thanks to volunteers. Organizers say they served about 70 families this year.
Christmas time. All our families, especially the last couple months, have been really stretched financially, and there just isn't room for them to provide Christmas gifts. So when the larger community can do something for them and treat them with the dignity that a Christmas store model does, it's very heartwarming.
The ministry was able to raise money for over 400 gifts for families to open this year. One man was killed and 2 others were hurt in a trench collapse yesterday around 4 p.m. in Claremont County, just east of Cincinnati. The 3 men between the ages of 20 and 40 were trapped while burying a pipe when the collapse happened. 2 of the men were buried up to their waists, while the third was buried up to his head. The trench grew to about 8 to 10 feet deep and collapsed a second time while crews were conducting the rescue. Crews worked on getting them out of the trench until 9:30 p.m.
The temperature in the trench was maintained pretty comfortably with the propane heater. With the warming IV fluids, that's also beneficial because it's going directly to the source throughout his body with circulation. And so that's definitely key in helping him at least limit whatever hypothermic issue he might have.
According to Jetter, one of the men is likely suffering from hypothermia and possibly has leg and back injuries. The other survivor's condition is unknown. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration was on scene and is investigating further. In the wake of the announcement that Netflix is buying Warner Brothers and HBO Max, Netflix is assuring subscribers that nothing is changing, at least for now. Netflix sent an email to subscribers Friday titled, "Welcoming Warner Brothers to Netflix." In it, they say, quote, "Nothing is changing today, and Netflix and Warner Brothers will continue to operate separately until the deal closes." Netflix has also said nothing is changing with a subscriber's current plan. Warner Brothers will move forward with plans to split into publicly traded companies next year. Netflix will take over the streaming and studio store. The other half will be renamed Discovery Global and will house CNN. A secondary U.S. strike on a Venezuelan boat in September is now under intense scrutiny. Many lawmakers on Capitol Hill are questioning whether the strike may have been a war crime. Jen Sullivan breaks down what happened and the controversies surrounding the actions.
This video, released by the Department of Defense, captures the moment the U.S. first strikes a Venezuelan boat that the U.S. government says was carrying illegal drugs. The White House now saying that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth authorized U.S. Navy Admiral Frank Bradley to act. While speaking at an event in California Saturday, Secretary Hegseth defended the Trump administration's actions.
If you're working for a designated terrorist organization and you bring drugs to this country in a boat, we will find you and we will sink you.
Since September, the U.S. military has destroyed 23 boats, killing at least 87 people. All say were tied to drug trafficking. Some strikes, particularly a second on this same boat, are drawing criticism.
You don't need that kind of firepower to do that tactical.
In the September 2nd attack, 11 people were reportedly on the boat. After a first strike, 2 survivors were seen clinging to the wreckage, according to some who have seen video of the full attack. Then, more strikes, killing them and sinking the vessel. It is considered a war crime to kill shipwrecked people. Now, many are scrutinizing what happened and are calling for an investigation.
These are, in my opinion, criminal actions or should be investigated as such.
Sources familiar with Bradley's remarks say he told lawmakers the small boat that was hit was heading towards a larger vessel that was bound for Suriname, a small South American country east of Venezuela, known by U.S. drug enforcement officials as a route for drugs headed to Europe. Bradley reportedly telling lawmakers the 2 survivors did not appear to have a radio. They watched the men struggle to overturn what was left of the boat, and there was no position to make a distress call.
There are still big questions about whether this is a legitimate approach, simply going after all manner of drug facilities.
Both the House and Senate Armed Services Committees have launched inquiries into what happened. Jen Sullivan, WTOL 11 on Plus.
Hi, I'm Jeff Smith. Coming up on the next Leading Edge, from recall to City Hall, Chelsea Ziss helped to lead Maumee's political shakeup and now makes history as the city's first female and youngest mayor. She joins me to talk about that meteoric rise and what's next for Maumee's future. Plus, Greater Toledo Community Foundation President and CEO Kate Sommerfeld on how cooperation and maybe even consolidation could reshape regional giving in 2026. Leading Edge, whenever you want it, right here on WTOL 11 Plus. Download for your TV and watch for free.
Well, grab the snow shovel because there is another system coming through on Sunday that is going to bring us some light snow already arriving Sunday morning. Now, in terms of how much accumulation you can expect, nothing to write home about with 1 to 2 inches of snowfall expected. However, there still could be some slippery spots, so use caution on roadways, especially during the morning. Doppler radar quiet right now. It is just going to be a cloudy and cool Saturday evening. Temperature-wise, hovering right around the freezing mark. It's not going to get all that cold tonight, with temperatures tomorrow expected to be right around freezing. Now, there are some active winter weather alerts west of us, including winter weather advisories for the Chicago metro and even into northern Iowa. Winter storm warnings shown by that pink color. There is some snow creeping into Iowa and Illinois with an area of low pressure southeast of Omaha, and that's going to be the snowmaker that impacts your Sunday plans. So the hour-by-hour breakdown. Dry and cloudy this evening. Snow's going to be moving in by already about 5 to 7 o'clock in the morning. By mid-morning, there is going to be some steady snow coming down with the steadiest west of I-75. Midday, still seeing some steady moderate snow, but then into the afternoon, snow is already going to be exiting out into eastern Ohio. So it is going to be a pretty brief window of snowfall, say from about 5 or 6 in the morning through about the early afternoon. So how much snowfall can you expect? When you wake up tomorrow, there is expected to be generally only a couple tenths of an inch, but then as we head into the afternoon hours, that is when we're expecting those higher amounts, about 1 to 2 inches. Light snowfall throughout the day. By the afternoon, temperatures are going to be near freezing. So in terms of the road conditions, I do expect the morning to be the problem spot, with the afternoon showing some signs of improvement. Temperature-wise, we are going to be around the freezing mark, so it's not going to be too cold, although it is going to be turning frigid into Monday morning. There is the chance for some refreezing on untreated surfaces, with temperatures in the lower teens, and even west of Toledo, single-digit lows will be possible into your Monday morning, and that could cause a few areas of black ice and slick spots. Plan on light snow accumulation Sunday. Our next Clipper system comes in midweek with rain and snow and temperatures in the upper 30s, so it is expected to be not necessarily an accumulating snowfall, but it is going to be turning very cold again with a brisk, chilly feel through the middle of the month. The next 4 days, there is that light snow Sunday, a few flurries possible too.